What's up, YouTube family? I'm back at you like I'm mad at you. And I'm back with another quick one for you, family. And that is dead fish go with the flow, family. Yeah, dead fish go with the flow. Why am I saying this? Sometimes you got to swim against the current, family, in order to accomplish the goals that you have planted inside of you, family. In order for you to accomplish that great things, those high heights that have been planted within you, you got to swim against the current sometimes, family. We're not talking about the money flow, family. We're not talking about the most highs flow, family, because the most highs direction many times is against the current, family. Yeah, it's against where everyone else will end up, right? Where many others will end up, family. In order for you to go where no one else is willing to go, in order for you to do the impossible, to accomplish the unthinkable, you got to swim against the current, family. What am I saying, family? Sometimes, family, we like to, when we build, and especially around friends and family and close ones, right? We want to make sure everybody on the same page and make sure everybody on board with what we doing, right? Sometimes we wait to try to get everybody on board, right? To make sure as we pursuing our goals, we like to check up on people and those around us to make sure they still happy, right? Make sure they all satisfied with what's going forth. But family, sometimes you got to go against the current, family, whether they like it or not. I can't explain to you how many times, if I would have just listened to what the Most High had made clear to me, I would have been way better off at this point in life, family. Right? If I had went against the current long time ago, I would be way better off in life personally. I'm sure of this. See what I'm saying, family? See, you got higher, you got higher goals and achievements in mind, family. You got a different level of faith, right? How do I know this? Because you wouldn't be on this channel, family. So you got a different level of where you want to take your faith. You got a different level of where you want to take your manifestations, family. Else you wouldn't be on this channel. You wouldn't be watching channels like this, family. Think about that. The reason why you even interested in channels like this, family, because you want to do the unthinkable. You want to go beyond that mediocrity of mankind, family. And sometimes you got to swim against the current to do that. See, sometimes as we building and we put our goals together, family, we want to check with those around us and those who we consider to be with us, right? To make sure they okay with your next decision. Make sure that they okay with your next sacrifice. Make sure they okay with your discipline, right? When you willing to go without things that's unnecessary, right? You want to make sure everybody else okay. But sometimes you got to swim against the current, family. Sometimes you got to swim against the current. And another thing about swimming against the current, family, is that it's not going to be as easy, family. It's not going to be as easy as it is going with the flow. But here to tell you, once again, dead fish go with the flow, family. Right? Sometimes you got to swim a little harder, right? You got to believe a little harder, right? Sometimes you got to pray a little harder. But you will accomplish your goals, family. You will accomplish your goals, and you have nothing to lose. Because if dead fish go with the flow, you going with the flow can only end you up in a place where you'll have regrets anyway, so to speak, right? It'll only end you up in a place where you won't be fulfilled anyway, right? Where you look up and feel like a failure anyway. So you might as well swim against the current, family. You might as well swim against the current. It don't mean you stop loving your family or your friends or those who you have around you, right? That seem to be a part of what you about, what you moving forward, and what you going after. But guess what, family? We got to swim against the current unapologetically in 25. I'm telling you, I know for a fact when I look at some certain circumstances, family, that I experienced, I say, man, if I would have just really swam against the current a long time ago, I would be in a much better place right now. I'm thankful, right? I'm thankful for where I am at the moment, right? Because we ain't gonna complain on this channel. We try not to do none of those. But at the same time, family, I know I would be way better off had I swum against the current long ago. Trying to make sure everybody good and happy and make sure don't nobody feel disowned, family, that ain't it, family. Sometimes you got to swim against the current, family. I'm telling you, some dead fish go with the flow, family. And believe it or not, it has to be one leader. And even if it's a team or group of people, it has to be one leader for the goals and all that is to be achieved, to be successful. It has to be one point guard. If you was on the basketball court, family, you need to just take the ball and move the ball, family. And how I know you the point guard? Because you watching channels like this, family. Think about that. Not everybody, whether this is a good channel, a great channel, or not so good, a great channel, not everybody has the interest to sit around and watch channels like this, family. Watch material like this. Not everybody is interested in material like this. That is a seed planted in you from the Most High Sovereign Power Authority of the universe. I'm sure it is. Most of us, any of us who have that knack to seek out something greater, right? To go beyond the mediocrity of mankind, to go to beyond the mediocrity of our surroundings, right? That is a seed that's planted from above, family. You see what I'm saying? It's many people out here that's just existing, family. When we talk about the dead going with the flow, dead fish going with the flow, right? They're just existing, pretty much, right? They're getting by. Family, it's something in you that's going, you're reaching. You're not on this channel because you're going to make some money from watching this channel. Although there is something that springs forth from what we get out of, right? What we feed off of, right? But you'll hear from what you are trying to accomplish within you so that something greater can spring forth from that greatness. You see what I'm saying? That means that you got something that's planted in you specifically from above. Not everybody around you has that right now, family. Right? You might have a lot of support, right? You might have a few supporters, right? But sometimes, family, you got to lose a couple fans to step up to the AC, family. You might have a few people around you, but I'm sure that you are the one that has to move the ball, family. Therefore, you got to set the tempo. It ain't going to fall down. You got to lay it down, family. You got to swim against the current, family. You got to swim against the current. It'll be appreciated when you get to where you're going, family. It'll be appreciated once we develop, right? When we grow and develop to the spaces that we're trying to grow into, family. The places that we're trying to grow into. It might not start out like that, family, right? Because swimming against the current sometimes is a little more challenging. But we got to swim against the current. We ain't got nothing else to lose. Else, what I say, dead fish go to the flow. So we ain't got nothing else to lose because otherwise we going to end up wherever the current takes us, family. And currently, the state of disbelief, right? Unbelief, right? Doubt, right? Mediocrity, right? Currently, those kind of things is running rapid, family, in the world, right? Mediocrity is running rapid. We got to swim against the current, fam. Well, I ain't gonna make this video long, but I want you to know it's a reason you and the evidence is that you even willing to sit here and listen to something like this, right? Because otherwise you'd be watching something else, fam. Although we watch other material, right? We look at other things, but you specifically, you look for material like this. That's your evidence, family. That you the point guard. You the one got to move the ball, make the plays, family. Swim against the current, family. Dead fish go with the flow. To the next video. Peace, positivity, optimism, power, and abundance, water.